What's your philosophy between rock dance and breaking? Like, what are the limits? What you can do and not do? And like, what are the, like, you can't do this burn and breaking. Like,
a burn you can burn in any dance pretty much, because you have a lot of people that are really good at burning. So a burn pretty much is a mime or a gesture to make fun or to humiliate your opponent. So a burn could be in any type of dance. You can dive and pop in and doing like some miming, animation, and burning. So burn, yeah, of course you can burn in breaking. My philosophy is, as long as the essence and the energy is like, you keep it like rocking or you keep it b-boy. Like for instance, like I said earlier, if you take the two-step, here I'm more like rocking, but if I'm doing this, it's almost the same motion, but I'm more like breaking. Same thing with this one we did earlier. Here I'm more rocking, but if I'm doing like this, I'm going to like the house thing, or if I'm doing like this, I'm maybe a little bit more b-boy. So it would be the energy and the essence. The limits depends on the context. I would say if it's a cipher and you're the jam, to me you're free to do whatever you want to do. If you want to mix, it's up to you. It might look corny, might look sloppy, but it's up to you because it's a cipher and no one has to tell you what to do. That's the philosophy. You're free, and especially it's freestyle. In a competition, like if you were like battling someone in a breaking battle, I would say to keep it breaking 100%. You can use what you learn in rocking or house, salsa, hustle, mambo, tap, traditional dances, anything, but make it look b-boy when you break it and make it look rocking when you rock it. I know there's a thin line because both come from New York, late 60s, let's say early 70s, and mainly done to the same type of music, funk, soul with the breaks. It's hard, but to know like the limits and the line, that there's a thin line. And I would say the experience will tell you when it looks like rocking and when it looks like.
So if you do like in a b-boy battle with Brooklyn Rock, it's like not, what is that?
If you are a b-boy from the 80s or 90s, if you start breaking in the 90s, you need to do like Brooklyn Rock or jerks or maybe top rock, I don't have any problem with that. I start breaking in 96, I used to do that a lot. But once I learned the traditional rock dance, I said, okay, that's a different type of dance, different philosophy, different music, different culture. I know like the separation, so I'm going to keep them separate. But I don't know, when did you start breaking?
Like 5 years ago.
So now we know that there's rock dance, it's a traditional dance from the early 70s. To me, I'm not a huge fan of mixing both because it's like starting a sentence in Spanish and continue it in French and then switch it to English. The message that you are conveying is not really clear, especially if the person you're talking to is not like bilingual or trilingual. So my philosophy is if I'm breaking, 100% b-boy. Even though I'm using different influences, I keep it b-boy. When I rock, I keep it rock. Of course, I'm going to use like tap or the good foot or James Brown type of dances, but I'm going to do it like my way, and I'm going to try to keep it rocking. I don't know if it's clear or not. At least it's my opinion. I don't know if maybe someone else will beg to differ, but that's my opinion. So,
is there any way to use jerks in b-boying style, or there's just no way?
Like I said, it's similar to what you asked. I mean, you could, as long as it doesn't kill your flow. Okay. I mean, like, I'm breaking, right? Here, breaking. To me, it's like same thing as I'm breaking and then go back to breaking and go back to breaking. It might look good, might look corny, I don't know. It's up to you. As long as you feel comfortable, you're free to do whatever you want. I'm not an authority, I'm not an OG, I'm pretty much no one. But my opinion, it doesn't look really good because it kills the flow of your top rock of your break. But if you think that it looks good, do it.
But what about like when two crew or two b-boys get really like, let's say like they're getting like into a tough battle, and for some odd reason, randomly they start like jerking. What is your opinion on that?
I used to do that. I used to go and I'd be hype and jump. Now I'm like, oh. I'm not a huge fan of that. If you want to do it, make sure you respect your opponent's space, because sometimes it looks like a total chaos. You can touch your opponent
That happened last night. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, did it look good?
They were hyped. They were into the music, the live band, and so like.
As long as they had fun. Personally, I think it doesn't look really good, but if they had fun and I don't know, if it makes people loud.
Who is Lost Child and Salsa versus Keeps and yeah, and Insight.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. As long as they felt good. I wouldn't do it, but if they felt good doing it, whatever. It's up to them.
But I think it's true they cut the flow. Like after the jerk, like people are like, okay, stop. Come back to breaking. Okay, it's good now.
Especially if you're not like a rocker and you have like a huge lack of vocabulary, and you're gonna do like 3 jerks and then I don't know what to do next. But if you're a rocker and I said you know that the other guy is also a rocker, and for some reason I don't know, it leads to a rocking battle, why not? It's a competition, and maybe the judges were not like qualified to judge like rock, because maybe some of them didn't know anything about rock, and so it's basically just total chaos.
Is there a community in Montreal, like where we can practice, share?
You're in Montreal?
You're here.
Not here? So you can start a community, but I know Codinège, je pratique à Codinège, with Anthony with Legs, with Chili, Solstep, Anthony right here, Codinège. I know maybe some other B-boys are trying to rock, I don't know. Samedi, pas où?
Samedi soir, il y a un cours de break à l'exécuter ici à 19h. Et après, c'est juste une pratique de break normale. Mais nos pratiques de rock, on les fait les vendredis au fond de la journée. Donc ça peut être le matin à 11h, comme ça peut être l'après-midi.
Tu pourrais poster l'info sur le groupe.
Sur le groupe, sur l'événement, sur la page du workshop.
Let's do that.
Anthony, peut-être tu peux commencer un groupe.
Ouais, comme
par exemple. Ouais, puis poste le groupe dans l'événement d'aujourd'hui.
Yeah.
Si vous êtes if you are in the Ottawa region, you can practice with Crazy Smooth here. I'm going back to France actually on Tuesday, so I'll be gone, but I'll be back in Canada in a couple of months for the next tour. But if you're in Ottawa, you can contact Smooth on Facebook. Practice usually on University of Ottawa Youth. You can have like a session on it. And you can start your own like rocking community here. Don't wait for anyone to tell you when to rock.
What advice do you have for beginner dancers, young dancers, to not only excel?
Just try to revise everything. Practice like with some friends. It's usually easier to practice with someone else. On your own is always hard. When I started, I was by myself pretty much. I was the only one in my city, and I think the only one in France. So when you're on your own, it's hard, but like try to do like basic jerks, side to side, just review basics. And once you feel comfortable, you play like a record, and you try to dance the whole record. Like freestyle, when there's a break, you do the jerk, and you try to think of certain burns, and work on your cardio. So you play 1 song, 2 songs. Like you start with the easiest one, like not the Just Begun, but Funky Nassau, Listen to Me, one with like a very distinct break, so you know when to freestyle and when to do like jerks. And once you're comfortable, you practice it with harder songs, like, I don't know, Expansions, The Mexican, The Just Begun, and anything else that make you want to rock, pretty much. Anything that's funky, soulful, that makes you want to rock, just practice to it. But first start with the classics. It's always good like to memorize and to study and to know the classics, and start with the easiest ones. And
So it's
work on the drills, like drills. What's that?
It's good to know the songs.
Of course.
Is there like video tutorials online? Because I don't think I can remember all this. I mean like the steps, like how to do the steps.
So that's why tomorrow you have to practice, and the following day you have to practice, etc., etc. And you can contact me on Facebook if you need any help, and I'll be very glad to help you out and share at least what I know, because I'm not an authority of the dance, just like you guys. I'm a student, and I'm still learning. I'm still developing my own style. So I just today tried to share a little bit I learned in Brooklyn with the old school guys, the OGs. So whenever I can share, I'll be really glad to help you out.
You guys can also check out the Kossassins videos that are online.
Yeah, they're not really like tutorials, but
True, but you talk about a lot about your
oh yeah, like
more
the
about the philosophy of, of the dance and stuff.
All right, Dolby will take the last question.
Do you have the same idea for like, let's say grooves is good to do a routine, but they incorporate like rocking inside of it? Do you have the same idea like, oh, donc ne pas le mettre dedans?
Like crew versus crew.
Genre comme le break? Ouais, comme le break, genre. Comme la compétition de break, de crew contre crew, puis on va sortir une routine, puis incorporer le rocking dedans. C'est la même chose.
C'est la même chose. Après, comme je dis, si c'est bien fait et que ça a l'air harmonieux, pourquoi pas. Moi, pour le moment, à l'heure actuelle, le seul b-boy que j'ai vu faire des fois des jerks dans son break, et tout a l'air vraiment naturel, c'est Float, de Incredible Breakers. C'est le seul gars que j'ai vu Top Rock faire un jerk, drill et repartir en jerk, mais lui, il a le bon. Pour le moment, il y en a quelques autres, mais honnêtement, c'est le seul que j'ai vu où ça a l'air harmonieux. Et lui, c'est de sa génération. Donc, moi, j'ai rien à lui dire. C'est certainement pas à lui donner de leçons. Après, moi, je suis pas spécialement fan. Parce que je trouve que si un coup vient qui fait vraiment une routine complète de rock, c'est comme s'il manquait de vocabulaire. C'est genre, on sait plus break, on n'a pas vraiment de chorégraphie en break. Ah, on va faire 3 jerks. Le break, c'est tellement riche, il y a tellement de choses à faire que tu peux inventer une infinité d'autres chorégraphies. N'importe quelle langue. Je trouve que quand tu vas chercher autre chose, je trouve que c'est un manque de vocabulaire. C'est comme si on avait une discussion un peu enflammée puis que je commençais à insulter. Ouais, tu vois, à sortir des grossièretés, c'est que je manque de vocabulaire. Généralement, tu t'énerves, tu manques de vocabulaire, tu sors une insulte, tu sacres comme les petits. Je trouve que c'est du manque de vocabulaire. Même si des fois ça fait du bien.
702? Okay.
C'est parce que tu t'as pas les armes et puis tu manques de vocabulaire. Je sais pas si c'est vraiment ça, mais en tout cas pour moi c'est comme ça que je le vois. Après, tout le monde est libre de faire ce qu'il veut. Comme je disais tout à l'heure à d'autres personnes, il ne faut pas oublier que c'est une danse qui a été créée par des adolescents. C'est spontané, c'est des adolescents qui faisaient la fête, qui fumaient, qui buvaient, et tout était spontané. C'est aujourd'hui qu'on essaie vraiment de mettre beaucoup de règles. Ça c'est comme ça c'est comme ça c'est tel style, ça c'est tel style. C'est parce qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui veulent capitaliser. Ils veulent gagner de l'argent, et puis parce qu'ils n'ont que ça. Finalement, ils étaient jeunes, ils se droguaient, ils n'ont pas fait d'études, nécessairement. Et ils n'ont pas de travail, puis ils se disent ah, il y a un marché potentiel, alors qu'il y a 10 ans, personne vraiment donnait de workshop de rock ou de break. Les workshops, c'est né dans les années 90. Avant 90, j'ai jamais entendu parler d'atelier ou de workshop de break, par exemple. C'est à cette époque-là qu'on a inventé la terminologie. Genre un six-step, c'est quelque chose uniquement pour enseigner. Que certains groupes ont inventé pour dire ah, on va enseigner, puis on va le décomposer en 6 pas distincts, on va appeler ça un six-step. Mais tu vas parler à d'autres old school de New York, ils vont dire we never call that a six-step. C'est footwork, ou leg work. C'est chaque école, entre guillemets, a inventé une terminologie. C'est plus facile pour enseigner. Mais souvent, c'est parce qu'il y a, on va dire qu'il y a un plan caché, un agenda caché derrière ça. Mais je ne vais pas trop rentrer dans cette idée. Sinon, je peux parler trop bien.
I think because we're running out of time, we're actually overtime. So I'm sorry we have to wrap it up here. But if you guys have any further questions, you guys can feel free to ask him on Facebook.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah. So, yep. So, just 1 second. So, thanks to you guys. We're McGill Street Dancers. MSSD. We have a Facebook group. You guys can actually join us if you're inside or outside of McGill. Just if you're in the street dance culture, like you guys are most welcome to join. We try to bring new things to the table. Like we have Creation, Monster Pop, and now we have Houari here. So stay tuned. We'll bring more to you guys, and yeah, stick around to the Facebook group. We'll post our updates there.
If you have any questions, you can post like questions on that group because I believe I'm on it, or just
yes,
send me an invite.
yeah.
And like, if you need like names of songs or anything, I'll be glad to help you guys out.
And then when's
It's a big, huge.
the next workshop part 2?
November 23rd.
Okay, November 23rd with Crazy Smooth.
And you can contact links for the sign up.
Oh, thank you. Oh, there's a flashlight?
Because we're here.
My songs don't forget. My songs don't soul. Free, got another beat now. We're gonna call our 30 on. and sorrow. My soul's got a whole lot of soul. Feel alright. Mini skirts, maxi shirts, and afro hairdos. People do their own thing, they don't care about me or you. My soul's got a soul, girl. My soul's got a soul. We're gonna run on beat now. We're gonna take care of business too. Listen to the grammar. Lay down his blessing. All the way down, all the way down. Listen to the bass man. Play that same holy beat. That's all the guitar. Give that soul some tuning. Welcome, I'll see. And they're all we leave. Go back to the beat now. All. Funkin' that song. It's so funky. Alors, vous jouez s'il vous plaît.
Montreal, Kossassins representing. I want to give a big shout out to the McGill street dancers. Yes, the dancers?
MSSD. Oh, good.
Big shout out to the MSSD. Thank you for the workshop. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and share the little I know with the Montreal community here, especially the McGill community. And hopefully I see you guys soon. And make sure to check out the page on Facebook and to check out like if there's any other dancers or artists that come and share the knowledge with the McGill dancers community. Peace.